Excalibur stole my thunder. I had a line prepared to open up this audio with, and I'm going to open up with it anyway. But he did use it first, and I'll give him credit. And in reference to the Bryan Danielson Kazuchika Okada match, he called that bout a love letter to pro wrestling. And it was my plan to come on here and open up this audio by calling Forbidden Door a love letter to pro wrestling, because that's what these Forbidden Door shows are. They aren't for WWE fans. They aren't for fans of overwrought storylines. They're not for your Gen Pop wrestling fans. These shows are for us. When I say us, I mean fans like myself and Rich and the people listening to this show. The kinds of people like me who you'd stay up all night when you're a little kid, hoping that Saturday night's main event was on instead of Saturday Night Live, and you get this rush of adrenaline when it was in fact the wrestling as opposed to the sketch comedy. And you'd fall asleep halfway through, but it was so exciting. And, I'd feel that same level of excitement watching, my favorite wrestlers growing up, like Mr. Perfect wrestle Bret Hart, or watching Jake the Snake Roberts DDT somebody. And then, a couple of years later, or, around that same era, where going over to Joe Cavezza's house to watch WrestleMania 4 and Clash of the Champions, and running back and forth from his living room to his bedroom to watch both shows at the same time. And the excitement that surrounded that, and how exciting that felt, and how wrestling just felt like the greatest thing in the world, this thing that nobody else understood unless you were a fan. To this day, nobody understands it. No one understands us. They don't understand why wrestling makes us so excited. We understand. And even other wrestling fans don't understand why shows like Forbidden Door make us so excited. They can't understand the feeling of packing into my 89 Firebird, driving home from the ECW arena with 5 or 6 maniacs crammed into that car. And we're buzzing, and we're looking for a dirty little greasy spoon on the side of the road to pull over and throw some burgers down our throat, because we're too excited to go home. We want to talk about what we just saw on that ECW show. Or a couple of years later, going to the Armory in Philly, or the Inman Sports Club in Edison, New Jersey, or Hammerstein Ballroom, or the ECW Arena to watch ROH, these great ROH shows that were just changing professional wrestling and just making us feel a way that no one else other than us could understand. The way that ECW One Night Stand made us feel. I couldn't sleep after that show. It was just that incredible euphoric feeling that you just saw something special. Rolling right into modern era New Japan with those great G1s, staying up all night to watch on Ustream, paying $120 for 12 shows or whatever it was. And just those great G1 shows. It's 4 o'clock in the morning and everybody's marking out on Twitter. And you're just seeing some of the best wrestling you've ever seen in your life, to these great Wrestle Kingdom shows. Some of the greatest wrestling shows that we've ever seen. It's those, and maybe to some of the people listening, your personal experiences differ a little from mine, but I bet you I mentioned a few that you can relate to. I bet you I did. And then we have a show like this, Forbidden Door, which, much like last year's, was just another incredible, euphoric experience as a wrestling fan. I'm up there marking out in the den, and my wife comes walking through. Oh, you're having fun up here, huh? She doesn't understand. She'll never understand. She shakes her head. She thinks I'm an idiot. I am an idiot. I'm clapping along to Final Countdown because I don't have a barricade to slap. Because we love it. And it makes us feel a certain way that no other hobby, that no other endeavor can make us feel. And I'm talking to other people who understand that feeling. And this isn't a particularly great era for pro wrestling. We don't get this all the time. But when we do get it on nights like this, it reminds us, it reminds me of all those times watching wrestling with my buddies on Ustream at 4 o'clock in the morning. That made me feel like this. And it reminds us why we love this stupid shit. It doesn't make any sense. You can get existential about it. Fake, predetermined fights. None of it makes any sense when you stop to think about it longer than 10 seconds, but we love it. And we suspend our disbelief. And great shows like this, with the caliber of matches we had on this show, when we know it's for us, Tony Khan does these shows for us because he is one of us. It's special. It's special. And these are the kinds of shows and these are the kind of moments that remind you why you can't just quit this shit. You can't quit it. Because you're going to have another final countdown moment a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now. I love this dumb shit. I love pro wrestling. I devote way more time to this than than any reasonable person should. And this is why. For shows and nights like this.